Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you for watching my videos. I'm here with Inti.
Hello people, how are you?
We're going to be talking about some shocking evidence today. Surprising evidence that Peter Schiff was right about Bitcoin. Dun, dun, dun. Alrighty, well, not Peter.
Yeah, I wish.
Inti, you got a few things to say for the people?
Yes. As always, it is good to remind you people that this video is for entertainment purposes only and this is not a financial advice. You should always do your own research before putting your hard-earned money on the market.
Okay, with that said, right, I got to start off with saying, right, Peter, congratulations. You're right. Right. When I divide something in half, right, into smaller parts, right, I get more of it. So, that's clearly inflation, right? The fact that Bitcoin has only 21 million supply is meaningless because, you can cut up one Bitcoin into infinite amounts. Like, for example, I could take this cell phone and cut it up really tiny, and then I have lots of cell phones.
I think I was taking it seriously.
So clearly, you were right. Digital gold. I know that digital gold is better because wealthy people can create more digital representations of gold and sell it to you. Because, I can't buy this gold anymore. Let's see, where's my gold? I have some silver here, and I have a gold coin somewhere, and there it is. And I can't buy the physical gold, but I can buy paper promises of gold, right? I can buy lots of that. Right? But that's not inflation, by the way. That's just proper finance, right? We got to keep the control of the price down, right? So that everybody can get some non-physical gold, non-real gold.
Yeah, it's to make it fair. It's to make it fair so everyone can have it.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone, and you know what? Another point that Peter has, that's right, is that everyone loves KYC, meaning know your customer. You know what that is, Inti?
No.
It's basically where you need to provide the bank all your information, to tell them what you're going to do with the bank account. Tell them that if you are running a business, such as Bitcoin trading or a gambling website. Even though it's not illegal to do so, because the banks don't want you to have an account, you will not have an account. Right, so that's why they do KYC, to make sure that, hey, you play within the rules that the banking system sets, not what the law states, what the banking system states.
That's totally fair. I love it.
Exactly. Don't you want that?
Yeah. How could you hate the system? It's perfect.
So you have to thank Peter for not giving me a bank account at your specific bank, because he, even though I have not committed any crimes or anything. What matters is that people like me need to fall in line with what the slave masters want. And they don't want anything to do with a Bitcoin. Doesn't matter that Peter accepts Bitcoin for his services. That doesn't matter. I'm not allowed to do that. I'm not allowed to accept Bitcoin for my services. Right? So that's why I'm not allowed to have a bank account at your specific cent. And this is the positive thing about our financial system. Positive. And it's much better than Bitcoin. This proves that it's much better than Bitcoin. Number 4, another item right here is, the public does not want anyone to innovate in finance, right? That has to be done in-house, behind closed doors, by our slave masters. We love that, don't you? Don't you, Inti? Right? We love our slave masters. They take care of us.
Of course.
Right? They make sure that we get full viral loads.
They give me money all the time. Exactly. I always receive a check on the mail. This is perfect. I love it.
Exactly. Just great, right?
We can buy so many stuff now. use a newspaper to go to the bathroom.
Exactly.
I enjoy it so much.
Exactly. Another point is that, I remember Peter saying, you can't buy a pizza for 6K with a 6K Bitcoin. Absolutely right. It's not like you can get change or anything like that. So stupid. Why would you own Bitcoin when you can't buy anything with a $6,000 Bitcoin? This is dumb. If you don't agree with the rules of Bitcoin, anyone can create a new Bitcoin and a new Bitcoin, a new monetary system with different set of rules, causing the inflation in Bitcoin. Yes, that is correct. Someone else can create something completely different, absolutely new, and have different set of rules, different set of criterias, and that means we have more Bitcoin. Clearly, that's horrible. That's just terrible. Don't you think? If I were to make another set of another iPhone, another type of phone, and I called it my phone. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Right? That means that there's more iPhones out there.
No.
But Peter said no. You have to support Peter.
Right. It's only because I can make logical sense.
Damn. Okay. All right.
Yeah, you spit and I didn't say it.
Oh darn. Okay. Darn. I can't do this with a straight face. Jesus. Bitcoin is money by decree, aka Fiat. You are forced to use it by an authority that says it's money. That's right, NT. You're an authority because you think Bitcoin's a money, and you force people to use it by the point of a gun. And so do I. And so does Crypto, Carl. So it's Fiat because we decree it's money. You don't get to choose. Nobody gets to choose. You don't get to choose. Any of my viewers don't get to choose whether Bitcoin's money. Right? That's what makes it Fiat.
That's what he said. I mean, he's right. Yeah. He didn't say a single lie.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Oh, my favorite point that Peter's right about is that Bitcoin, right, is a fraud or a Ponzi because it requires someone to buy it at a higher price. Unlike my gold and silver right here, as you can see, the gold and silver that I have in my hand, the Federal Reserve Fairy will print more money and buy it from me at a higher price. It's not like somebody else is going to buy it from me at a higher price. No, the Federal Reserve Fairy will. Oh, and finally, yes, it's going to zero because you know what? This really bad person, he created Bitcoin.
And I know who's behind Bitcoin, and it ain't some fucking Japanese guy in a cave. I know the guy. And when that comes out,
you're not waiting for me to respond to
it here first.
No, I'm playing a video.
Zero. When it comes out, zero.
Yes, it's going to zero, people. You heard it. You heard it first. You heard it from here. It's going to zero because this guy Ponzi here, he made Bitcoin. That's the truth. This guy, he came back from the grave and he come to make Bitcoins exist. All right. Well, that was fun, right? Oh, damn. Well, as you know, it's April Fool's, right? We're just having some fun here, and I hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah, they noticed from second one. They can tell.
But I do have a very, very important announcement. that we have to share on Crypto's channel, and please check that out later on today. It's going to be a very serious announcement, and I hope you guys, be prepared because it's going to be shocking. Anyways.
Okay, what a mood change.
Anyways, let's head over to some questions and answers on why we all believe that Peter Schiff is correct. Do you have any questions for me, Auntie?
Actually, no. I mean, there was a couple of them, but they were like April Fool's questions.
Okay.
But I got one from Shannon Alexander. Thank you for asking. What do we do if Bitcoin is banned by the government? Why would they allow it or gold to compete with the digital currency?
You see, because it's a Ponzi scheme, right? It's clearly that governments around the world have band together to ban Bitcoin right now as we speak. Okay, well, they're thinking about it. No, that's not true. That's not true. Well, they want you they want you not to buy it, but they're not going to ban it just yet, but one day they will. One day they will ban it, right? Because, it's an object that you can have, and you can't have objects, right? Well, wait a minute, it's not an object, it's a digital asset. So we should ban digital assets. I wonder how you're going to do that, because you know what? You can't see it, you can't touch it, right? You can't smell it. Well, they'll figure something out. Dude, you know what? If they ban... have you ever seen all governments come together and agree on one thing?
I mean...
Has that ever happened?
Technically, no, but I'm more... as time goes on, I'm more scared that it's becoming a reality eventually.
Yeah, I know. But the odds are that if they can't ban it everywhere, it's still going to be useful, because you can't stop it.
I mean,
because it exists everywhere. And so how do you stop something that exists everywhere?
Yes. I mean, if all people start using it, governments will say, government will say, instead of fighting it and prohibit it, let's take advantage of it, because they'll always find a way to screw you up. So instead of prohibiting you to use it, they are going to make new mechanisms to get your wealth to them through it.
Exactly. That's probably where we're gonna go, right? When you can't beat them, you join them eventually, right? And then that's where the real disaster begins. So be glad that they're not here yet, that they're trying to stop you, because as they try to stop us, actually what's happening is Bitcoin is becoming more stronger, right? Because of that, right? And the second that they try to join us, that's when Bitcoin stops being stronger, because there is no enemy at the gate. So you can't fix what's not broken. All right, so next question.
Okay, this is from Derek Jamerson. Will toilet paper become world reserve currency?
Well, what?
Will toilet paper become world reserve currency?
Of course. I mean, you saw that, there isn't any left, right? So, we need to be able to transact in toilet paper, because hey, if you can't have a clean butt, what are you gonna do?
Think about it this way. Today, a roll of toilet paper worth more than an American Airlines stock.
That's true, Oh, darn.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Next question.
Let's say sorry. Oh,
somebody says, Mario says, Da Vinci, are you from Chile? Am I from Chile? No, I'm not from Chile. I'm actually from Canada. I was raised in Canada, but I was born in Trinidad. All right. What's the question you got for me?
let's say.
Just choose one.
I know. I try to pick a good one. Okay, we have a super chat.
Okay.
It's kind of weird, sorry, but it's Sum Coco. Into what is best, the daughter or BDC from D?
That's kind of rude, dude.
Yeah, that's really rude.
That's kind of rude.
I'm not going to answer that.
Why would you read something like that?
Just because it was a super chat.
That's rude. Okay,
That's very
next question. Like, block that guy, right? That was rank. All right. Next question here. Do you think Corona is a distraction? Whether it's it's a what's it called, a pandemic? Well, not a pandemic, but well, maybe a pandemic, or it's a virus that was actually man-made. It doesn't matter. It's real, right? It's out there. It's dangerous in a sense that 20% of us who catch it will need serious medical attention, and there's just not enough medical staff and medical equipment should all of us catch it at once, and that's the big point, right? So if somebody tells you it's just the flu, it's just the flu that if everybody catches it all at once, there's not enough hospital beds to support all of us catching it and getting better. Meanwhile, the death rate is slightly higher, about anywhere from some estimates from 4x higher than the flu, or to 9x higher than the flu. So keep that in mind. That's if you receive proper medical attention, right? The death rate is less than 1%, but only if you receive proper medical attention. If you fall into the 20% category. If you fall into the 20% category and don't receive medical attention, your probability of dying is extremely high. So consider that. And what makes it very deadly is that, hey, you know what? It spreads very, very fast, right? It's very easy to spread, right? Somebody who sneezes, even if Inti has it right now in this closed space and he's just talking, I'm practically guaranteed to get it, right? What would help is if the windows were open and the doors were closed, because the air circulates and moves the virus outside, right? So the worst place to go, right, is to church, where people are singing, and that's actually a closed space, and so don't do that. don't do that. Because there's been horrible stories out there where a whole congregation of people, most of the people in the church got the coronavirus, because the singing would make things that much 1,000 times worse. All right, next question.
Okay, I got a couple of good ones. This is a super chat from Henry Schenk, thank you very much, and says, Da Vinci, what are the risks of taking money out of the bank and placing it into a stable coin like DAI?
What are the risks of putting you're taking your money out and putting it into stablecoin like DAI? Okay, so that DAI is too new. The risk is that it doesn't work. It's broken. With the fact that we went through a shock in the system, and DAI had its problems, but it's still around and still working, goes to show that it's got a little bit of resilience. Meaning, now your risk to using DAI is a little bit less, because it's already gone through one shock, right? And it's still here. There's still another shock to come, of course, with possible hyperinflation, but you already know that it's already survived one shocking event. Can it survive another one? Who knows? And then on top of that, you also have the problem of somebody might be able to find a hack for DAI and collapse the system. So those are your risks. But at least you don't have third-party risk, where because you take possession of your DAI and nobody else can take it. So that's always an option to hold DAI. the liquidity is another issue with your DAI. Do you have enough liquidity? And it depends. Like if you only have like a few $1,000s worth of DAI, then yeah, sure, that's not a problem. But if you have a few million, you might have a problem liquidating that on the market. So unfortunately, Tether would be the best choice if you have a few million in cash.
Da Vinci, I noticed that your mic is a little bit saturated.
Really?
Yeah, especially when you get closer.
Oh, okay. Let me just make sure that's turned
People is
down.
not complaining, but I just noticed it with the headphones.
Alrighty, test. Yeah, I have it lower, but maybe it's there we go. Alrighty, I turned down the gain a little bit. So
I have two questions that are correlated. This one is from N Zodiac that many people has been asking today, and says, "What do you think about Satoshi Nakamoto means central intelligence in Japanese?" And the other thing is the other question. This is from Dirty Scant and says, "Does it really matter at this point who made Bitcoin?"
yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, so that's the point. Let's just say that's true. Satoshi Nakamoto means central intelligence in Japanese, which I doubt it, but I don't know for sure. I don't think so because my brother speaks Japanese fluently. Same with his wife, who's Japanese. He would have mentioned that to me. So yeah, I doubt it means central intelligence, and it doesn't really matter if it did, because the source code is open, public. Anyone could look at it. I could look at it. When I first looked at Bitcoin, I was looking immediately for some sort of like scam hole, somewhere that somebody could steal the money in through a known vulnerabilities in the way you code, and it's just I couldn't find any, and there was a few bugs that were inflation bugs, right? But they've all been patched and stuff like that a long time ago. So there's nothing anyone can place in the code, because what happens is, let's just say some kid out there looks at the source code and says, hey, there's a scam, there's a hole in this source code because this and this will happen, someone will take the money and put together this paper. Well, obviously I'll be one of those people to read that and to find out if that's true, and then I'll decide, hey, well, that's true or that's not true. And if it's true, then I would be like, obviously on YouTube going, dudes, man, look at this thing. This is very serious, right? There's a hole here in Bitcoin, and it's got to either be fixed or we have to abandon Bitcoin. So yeah, obviously that's why you don't have to worry about it. There's so many people looking at it. There's so many people trying to find holes so they could take advantage of it, so they could make some money. Bitcoin it has a huge multi-billion-dollar bounty if you can cheat it, and so far nobody has. Alrighty, next question.
Okay, this is a super chat from Benchwag, I think it's called. Have you heard that? This is about coronavirus. Beer flu. Have you heard that ibuprofen causes beer flu to become 10 times worse?
Yes, I have. So I would suggest, if you do catch the beer flu, right? I really don't care if we call it coronavirus here on this channel, because you know what? So what? They demonetize me. Who cares? The point is, the coronavirus is very dangerous in that sense that if you have the fever, what some people tend to do is take ibuprofen to lower the fever. Unfortunately, what that does is help the virus move along a lot faster. So I would suggest that you avoid taking it should you catch the coronavirus. There are some painkillers that you can take that will not aggravate the coronavirus, but I think it's like aspirin or something like that, but I'm not 100% sure. But I would suggest you do some more research on that. I'm going to do some more research on that, but I've seen the studies on that. Yeah, it's an aggravating factor, ibuprofen, and a few other pain-killing drugs. So please be careful out there, people.
Okay, this is from Alex Set. Says hyperinflation is coming. So even if Bitcoin goes to 100K, how will that worth anything then in buying power?
Well, the thing is, right? When we get to 100K, it depends on whether or not a hamburger is 100K, right? Of course.
Good point.
So you have to look at that. All you have to do is like divide it by gold or silver, the price of gold or silver, or other assets that you normally buy, and in order to determine whether or not Bitcoin's value is going up or going down. So yeah, that will always be an issue. We already talked about it in yesterday's episode. Is that Bitcoin can continue going up, meanwhile its actual value is going down. So watch out for that by dividing Bitcoin into goods and services that you normally purchase to really see the value. Is Bitcoin continuing up in its value during the hyperinflation event? Because that's assuming that if they decide to ignore reality and go, well, this is not happening. Prices are not going up because we're printing more money. It's because greedy speculators are causing prices to go up, right? And people who bought a bunch of masks ahead of time and selling it for a higher price, that's what's the cause of inflation. If they decide to go that route, we're going to be here for a long time instead of them admitting that they're broke, right? Oh, man. I hope they don't do that. All right, next question.
All right. This is from Rabin Timsina and ask, BTC only been 17 millions ever circulating after deducting some lost bitcoins in the system. How will it serve as a reserve currency, same as US dollar, for example, being so scarce?
So scarce.
So scarce, sorry.
Yes. Well, because the reason why is that we had gold as money before, and that was a scarce asset, but also the fact that it's divisible to very, very tiny units. So even in the case where you're in a local area that doesn't have a lot of bitcoins, but has a little bit, the fact that you can divide that up to very, 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 very tiny units is enough for you to survive in that local economy with the small amount of Bitcoin. Now, yes, things will be a lot cheaper, and labor and land and property will be a lot cheaper, but that will attract investors to your local economy with their Bitcoins to buy up assets at a lower price. And that would cause the price of assets to go up because you notice that, hey, you know what? Hey, that guy has a lot of Bitcoin, so I will raise the price a little bit, and the price will eventually start to creep back up as people come into that small economy with their Bitcoins. Of course, that means a lot of things will go away. You can't buy houses, cars, and stuff like your television on credit in the future because, well, no one in their right mind would do that. Give a consumer loan when the currency is deflationary, basically. So it just won't happen. All right, next question.
All right. This is a super chat from Super Google Lee, of course. Mm-hmm. And it says, do you think that the existence of exchange that allows shorting, which wasn't available back then, is preventing Bitcoin from reflecting its true value?
Do I think the existence of exchanges that allow shorting? Okay, well, the exchanges that allow shorting are effectively what's it called? Forwards exchanges, basically. For example, Bybit, right? And if you're interested in trading Bybit, link in the description below to support the channel. Bybit has perpetual contract swaps, and basically you're trading contracts, right? You're not trading Bitcoin, but what you are getting paid when you leave the exchange is Bitcoin. So because you get in with Bitcoin and you leave with Bitcoin, you are actually supporting the Bitcoin network a lot more than if you were to do the exact same thing
with futures
on the Crimex. Because you're entering with dollars and you're leaving with dollars, and you really don't have any real effect on the price, in a sense that there's somebody actually moving Bitcoins around. There is no Bitcoins being moved around. Absolutely zero Bitcoins being moved. So yeah, that's the sad thing about the Crimex, right? Well, the same goes for both gold and silver on the Crimex. It's you're not actually trading actual gold and silver. You're trading a promise that can never be paid for gold and silver. And the same with Bitcoin futures. You're trading a promise of Bitcoin to pay Bitcoin that can never be paid and is illegal to be paid in Bitcoin. So there you go. Okay. Next question.
Next question. This is a super chat from Ben Squaggle and says, what do you know about Serpent Seed? The idea of a separate bloodline from Cain. Oh wow, this is like deep stuff. I didn't read it before. The idea of a separate bloodline from Cain, whose father was the Esser, that is causing all the bad stuff. Wow, that's like
Satan.
Yeah, that's deep stuff.
I never heard of that. And all this is. Whether or not the father of Satan, like really, whether or not Satan and God exists is not a topic this channel goes into about. So I'm going to have to pass on that question. Right?
Sorry, I gotta make a filter for that. This is a super chat from Ronnie D. As a simple one, it's like a threat. And chances for 3.8k Bitcoin again.
3.8k Bitcoin again. Chances for that. Well, there's always a probability that it can do that, right? I would give that a 20% probability that it goes back down to 3.8k. But it's a low probability, and I'm glad. Because we've seen we've heard this from all the exchanges. Ever since the drop down to 3.8k, they have seen record sign-ups, record amounts of people putting money in to cash in, and record amounts of people taking Bitcoin out. So what does that mean to you? 3.8k is coming again? No.
Actually, if people investigate about the cost of production of Bitcoin, it's around 3k or around that number.
It's actually 6k.
Is 6k?
Yes.
We are almost trading in value.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, it's there are obviously some places that are, but the average. There are obviously some places that are 3k that they can mine at 3k Bitcoin, but I think there's a website we can look up, but I'm not going to bother finding it right now because I don't want to do that same thing I did last time. But there is a website that shows you the average mining costs in different areas and how much electricity is and how much it would cost you to mine. And so, there's miners that range all over the place from 3k to 10k in profitability requires in profitability. So
Whoa.
here it's a lot of money. It's a lot. You need to have Bitcoin a lot higher, over 10K in Chile, in order to mine here. So yeah, unless of course you use solar panels.
Yeah, that's not likely. Actually, here in Chile, they are taxed.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really difficult to do so here. Alrighty. Next question.
Next question. So this is from CMAT. Could a bank bankruptcy in the Western country lead to a huge crypto run?
Can the bankruptcy in where?
A bank bankruptcy.
Bank bankruptcy. Well, we've already know that that's not. They're not going to let that happen. They're going to shovel any amounts of money into your bank. But it would be interesting if you because I find it interesting that they're not going to let it happen. But then why would they come out and say, stop taking money out of your bank account? But you're going to print money and give them the money anyways, the bank money. So why can't I take the money out of the bank account? That's a little bit odd, and that's why I'm very concerned about people's savings in the bank account. And I really think that might be a big problem. They might decide they might be planning on taking your money in some form or fashion if they're telling you not to take the money out. So that's my concern, right? Anyways, I'm gonna leave that at that question, and thank everybody for thank all the subscribers. We're well over 70,000 subscribers, right? Thank you for pushing us over 70,000. Also, thank you everyone who subscribed to Pandora's Wallet. We've had a record amount of sales every day, each day now, and I'm just totally impressed and very happy and appreciative that this is happening. And I've worked really hard on Pandora's Wallet, and I plan to continue to do so and improve this software going forward. Thank you for all your support. Everyone who's purchased in the last year and up until the end of basically this month, you will definitely be rewarded. Thank you very much. Today is the last day for the discounted price on the monthly subscription. So please, if you're interested in getting access to my Telegram group, for permanent access to my Telegram group, you can do so with the small price of 0.06 Bitcoins. All you have to do once you've subscribed is send an email to support at Pandora's Wallet, support at davincicodes.net, and we will add you to the Telegram group. Once again, here, let me just show you. It's 0.06, and this is going up. So if you want to, for just 1 month subscription, right, you can be a part of that Telegram group forever. At the end of this month, we will be closing that off, and only people who have active subscriptions will have access to the Telegram group, and no one else. Also, another advantage of purchasing between now and the end of the month, I will be providing the documentation for my white paper. I've just been so busy trying to get everything done here. With the virus going on, I haven't been able to publish my white paper. I have written it. It's just I just need to clean it up a little bit. And the people who've purchased Pandora's Wallet between now and the end of the month will have access to getting the coin, a token. Basically, I'm going to be creating a token to help support development of a decentralized exchange of converting Pandora's Wallet into a decentralized exchange. And so, yeah, you will get that token included with your purchase sometime in the future. But only those people who have supported me ahead of time. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right. With that said, thanks everyone for watching, and me and Inti will see you guys tomorrow. Cheers, people.
Bye.